Being 6 o'clock, I'm going to welcome everybody to the Board of Selectmen's meeting of September 21st. Please join me for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. If everybody out in the audience, if you speak, please state your name so people hearing your voice will know who's talking, because they're not going to see your face on the camera. So, up first, Conservation Commission, requesting a waived lot line adjustment application fee. That is you.
Charlie Katcher from the Milton Conservation Commission. We're doing a survey where there's a shed encroachment onto town land. So we got to do a lot line revision. If you're interested in looking at it. It's right up on White Mountain Highway. This is the shed that encroaches. So what we've done is, this is the land that was voted to be put into conservation a few years back. We can't get anybody to hold the conservation easement because of this encroachment. So we come to an agreement, so jog the property line like this, so it meets the zoning setbacks, rear yard and side yard, and then it's no longer encroaching. We've come here to see if the selectmen would see they could waive the fee. I think it's $150 application fee.
That fee goes to Brian anyways. I mean, it's not a fee we have to pay to register or anything?
Right. We're still going to have to pay the fee for, the newspaper advertisement and to notify the abutters. But the Conservation Commission is going to pay for that out of their fund.
Okay. Want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to waive the fees for the lot line adjustment for the
Jones Brook?
encroachment.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank
See how easy that was?
Yeah.
See you in another 2 weeks.
Why?
I don't know, we'll figure something out.
See you later. Thanks a lot.
All right, Charlie, thanks.
Probably at 5 o'clock.
Okay, well, we've got a little time to kill before we do our public hearings at 6:30. So, that puts Mr. Smith and Mr. Cameron up next.
This is Fred Cameron. I'd like to introduce you to the board. That's Tom Gray, the chairman.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Fred.
Mike Bolio.
Hey, Mike.
And Andy Ross.
So you have, you may have met the colleague, actually.
I think so, yeah, at one point or other.
Here and there.
Yep.
So what we've come before the board for tonight is we have a couple of projects that we'd like your blessing on. Fred, myself, and John and Karen have approached the school, SAU superintendent, and asked for permission to revitalize the field behind the elementary school. We've gotten permission from the school board to go ahead with that project. It's going to be volunteer hours, volunteer equipment. We're going to the kids are supposed to raise some money for donations to help with the field, and recreation will raise money to do that. And then when the field's complete, we're going to turn it over to the school and they're going to maintain it. The other project that we're working on is at the cemetery in Milton Mills. We'd like to put in a soccer field to ease the time that the kids are on the field up here at the beach. John Catwick has got involved with that. We're going to start moving forward with that. Again, we'd like your blessing on that one. And also, if we had to use some town equipment, we'd like the selectmen's blessing on, possibility of maybe a dump truck to haul some material or something like that. Not a lot of stuff, but
Right.
again, all of these things will be done on volunteer hours. So, again, we'd like to have your blessing on those two projects. Fred's here to talk to you about the maintenance at the ball field. He's got a few things he'd like to talk to you about, and we'll turn it over to Fred.
Fred Cameron, Cameron's Home and Garden Center.
Yeah.
I live here in Milton, my business is in Farmington. as
Right.
everybody knows. Pat had a budget this year that I ended up receiving, if I can't bill you for it, I'm not gonna do that. Everything is, I've done up there as a company, and my two sons and I are gonna donate to the town. They're about $11,000 in the field right now. I'm happy to do it for the kids, that's what it's all about.
Thank you, Mr.
We very much
So
appreciate it, thank
What I'd
you.
like to have you folks consider is at least getting a price on getting the irrigation, putting a pump in, getting irrigation water out of the lake. It's perfectly legal, you can do it. And I've got someone from Guilford Well tomorrow coming to give us some initial pricing on it. And obviously, we'd want to bid it out, and that's not an issue, like you should.
Right.
But I really think, rather than paying the town water department $2,500 a year, I think it could be better spent by getting the water out of the lake, maintaining the pump, and electricity's all you gotta pay for in the pump.
Right. Could that be hooked up to the existing irrigation system? If it pumps?
Yes, you'll be using existing irrigation pit system, and whether, obviously where your water system's hooked into it now, you're just gonna hook this into it.
Right, you have to cap off their water supply at some point. wherever it
Yeah,
is.
well, you're still gonna probably want public water in your buildings up there, if you get the beach, so.
Just a matter of routing that, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, I was just getting that up, to cap it off so there's no bleed back of the lake water into the town.
Or you can't, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, you have to do that, absolutely, yeah. In fact, it'll be separate, completely separate anyway.
Okay,
I think there's two shut-offs up there, one for the bathroom and a shut-off for the,
okay,
for the.
Then that way you don't have an expensive backflow or anything, because you just you don't need town water for it, period.
right, no,
And then they've asked for a couple, more things to be done up there, which I'll take care of. So what I'd like to do is, you got money to pay this year for, I'll say for me, because I got a contract.
Mhm.
I don't want it, I'd rather have you folks take that money and put it towards your irrigation system and get it right. It's gonna cost you about $6,000 a year to maintain that.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Cameron.
Yeah, really, that's awesome,
And,
appreciate that.
Right now, Arbor Pro and myself, we're pretty much donated most of, I've donated all my work.
Mhm.
Arbor Pro most of his, but not quite all. That's where you're at. I'll grab the bull by the horns, we'll get the field going behind the school. And Pat and the town, they've been great to work with. And if you give us some equipment when we need it, yada yada, it's not gonna be abusive.
Right, just
You know,
sporadic.
and it's all for the kids here in town anyway.
I mean-
And Pat said the school will take it all over once it's done. There's no expense to the taxpayer of the town of Milton, the school department. yes.
Right,
So
however
that-
they
can
handle it,
deal
right,
with that.
right.
And as far as the cemetery up there in Milton Mills, we're gonna set that up and look into power, and we need irrigation. There's no sense of putting a field in unless you have irrigation.
Right, exactly.
So we're looking at the cost of a well, okay? And John, you can add afterwards if you like.
No, I think my input would be that, first of all, thank you, Fred. It's a great donation you're doing for the town. And I want everybody to know that I'm here to help on that project, as you know,
Right.
and all my equipment's available, volunteer basis.
Thank you, John.
That one's gonna be a little easier to build once we get our ducks lined up, because it's soccer field versus a baseball.
Yeah, it's a little
As we
easier,
all
yeah,
know,
you don't have the diamond to worry about in the
And we
measurements.
think all the loam is up there. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna have enough material on site to take care of that.
Oh, good.
And more than likely, you're gonna be able to put one field on that property, but John and I and Pat will figure that all out.
Mhm.
We'll go from there.
Appreciate
So,
Well, we appreciate everything you've done for us at this point. I
Yes.
mean, this has been a great year for the kids of this town.
well, it's
With the
something I've been wanting to do
playground.
for
Yeah.
a few years, and I'm getting old, so it's on my list, so.
Aren't we all?
I wanna get it done.
Yeah, no, it's been a great year for the kids with the playground, the basketball, and now the fields, and it really has been, that's.
And to see
let's
that
keep it going.
playground being used like it is, you needed it 10 years ago.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So, anyway,
Do you need a motion?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I would make this motion to grant Mr. Cameron's wish, Pat and John, I use the word to revitalize the, slash maintenance, that field behind the elementary school, to develop that soccer field on the town beach. We're looking to purchase.
No, soccer field would be the town cemetery. No,
Town
that's-
cemetery, I'm sorry, yeah.
No,
Yep, and, to look into purchasing a pump to pump the water out of the lake for the irrigation system.
thank you very much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you guys so much. Okay, up next, we still got a little bit more time. Les Elder, RSA 79E, request for town warrant.
I had sent the town administrator, and I assume you shared it with them, a brief synopsis of what 79E is, Community Improvement
Yep.
Program. From what I can see, this would apply to the ERZ zone, as well as anybody that wanted to open in downtown, as well as any other projects. It's a tax credit, and it's what some people get confused on, it's only a tax credit for improvements.
Right.
So if the building is assessed at 100,000 and they do 50,000 improvements, it's only the 50,000 that is deferred, and it's only deferred for 5 years. Eric Knapp is gonna present this to the Economic Development Committee.
Right.
And I'm waiting to hear back from the planning board to get on their agenda for the next meeting to present it to them.
Okay.
So it's just, that has to go on to
A warrant,
a warrant article, and it has to be submitted by the Board of Selectmen.
Yep. So, I mean, if they're gonna go through the planning board and the economic
I
development.
just wanna make them aware of it, that's
Yeah,
all I'm
no,
doing.
you say, I was getting at is, that means Jerry Coogan will be the town planner, so he'll probably have some input on this.
Oh, yeah,
But I read it over and I think it's a great idea.
all right,
Definitely.
thank you.
Thank you, Les. So we're gonna wait to hear back from them guys and see if there's anything they wanna add, change, or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure, I'm sure they're gonna copy you on all the minutes anyways.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Les.
Yep.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have a Conservation Commission resignation, and I'll read this, and we'll have to move to accept this resignation or not. And this is from Sean Skillings. It says, Cynthia, as of this month, I have been assigned a new position with the USCG, United States Coast Guard and Auxiliary in South Portland, Maine, as Publications Officer. Being it has nothing to do with conservation or recreational boating safety, the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary considers to be a conflict of interest, and I should no longer be involved in town politics. So as of this week, I can no longer serve on the commission. Sincerely, Sean Skillings.
Make a motion to accept Sean Skilling's resignation.
I'll second it.
Yeah, with regret, and I want to thank him for serving on the commission when he did, as long as he did.
Do you want me to create an ad for the vacancy?
Yes.
For
Yeah, if you can just create something, put it on the Facebook and, Facebook page, and also the town website. Okay, now we're gonna need to make a motion to pay a police department computer and radio equipment, reimburse the general fund with his capital reserve fund. We have a couple of motions here to read. So, somebody wants to make that motion? Do we have a line item number?
I do not.
Okay, we'll have to get that, so we know which line to take it out of.
Yeah.
They already have, yeah, we've got it. I haven't
Yeah.
put line items in any of the motions that you've been doing.
Right, so there's,
It's not completely needed.
well, no, it's just nice we know where that's gonna come out into public note. So, somebody will read this motion, or
You got it, Mike?
I don't know, do I have it?
should have?
Okay, I'll move to authorize the police department to purchase computer and radio equipment and software from SoftSmart, Inc., for the police department totaling $6,257.43 and to pay for this out of the general fund. Motion one.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Also, motion to authorize the reimbursement of the $6,257.43 to the general fund out of the police department's computer and radio capital reserve fund.
I'll second
Thank
it.
you for doing that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we got a motion to expend and reimburse for structural repairs at the library.
I will move to authorize the Public Works Director to hire Mills Construction to conduct the structural repair work at the Free Milton Public Library at the cost of $11,600 for the removal of roof shingles, install ice and water shield, roof and membrane, and to install a 30-year arch and shingles, and to pay for this out of the general fund.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then I move to authorize the reimbursement of $11,600 to the general fund out of the Free Library Repair and Maintenance Expendable Trust Fund.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next, we got bid openings for the griddle and, Mr. Belton first, griddle bid opening. We have one. One opening for the griddle. And I'll read it. Wish I almost cut it in half. My bid is the amount of $300. Contact information is Robert Gay. Route 153, Middleton, New Hampshire. She got a bid of $300 for the griddle.
Need a motion?
Yeah, need a motion to accept it.
Okay, I'll accept Robert Gay's bid for $300 for the griddle.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and next we have the deep fryer. And again, we have one bid for that. And this is also from Robert Gay and has a bid amount of $50 for the deep fryer.
Who's it from?
Robert Gay,
Same guy?
same guy.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept Robert Gay's offer for $50 for the fryer.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We're up to the minutes, guys. We can't do the public hearing until 6:30. That's when it's posted. So we'll go through the minutes and we'll go back to the public hearing at 6:30.
These are the three originals that we looked at.
Okay, yep.
The agenda reads 8, minutes is 9.
Yeah, the 8th is correct, the 9th is not.
Okay.
That's all
That's
right.
the only
Yep.
correction.
Yep.
Have you read them, Andy?
Mhm.
Are you okay with them?
I'm okay.
Yeah, okay,
Tom?
yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for Tuesday, September 8th, 2015, as written.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome.
All right.
You see these now? You can't see them.
No, do that in non-public, because we gotta talk about these
So
anyways.
can we just hold these up?
Yeah, let's, yeah, so we gotta,
Yeah, thank you.
we are going to review the non-public minutes in non-public because there are a couple things in there that we can't talk about out here in public. We need to talk about before we do anything with them, so. Okay. Well, we might as well go to administrative comments. You got a lot? No?
No,
Okay,
I just have two things.
okay.
The first one is, the, town, let's see, the Casey Road Town Forestry Committee. So,
Yeah, hang on, before you look through those.
okay. So you have some information in your packets with a question from the attorney. Because there is a
Oh.
difference between a town
Right.
forestry committee and then a committee. The town forestry committee would manage the property. They would manage the timbering, firewood, other natural resources through planting, timber stand improvement, thinning, harvesting, restoration, et cetera, per RSA 31:111. Whereas a more localized sort of committee, which would not be called a town forestry committee, would come up with ideas for the property
Right.
to include more than just the timbering and that sort of stuff.
That's what they do. They're looking for activities as well.
Right.
Hey, they're looking for participation, like the fishing game. Possibly even receive money from fishing game for projects that we want to put on it.
So at the last meeting, I was asked to contact the attorney as far as the comments that the committee members made, if they were to be continued to be called the Casey Road Town Forestry Committee versus another name, would that put some impediments, I guess, on their work? And you've got my email that I sent to the attorney, and
Yep.
you've got his response back with a copy of the RSAs. So I guess you need to decide what type of a committee do you want it to be.
I really don't think, at this point, I think we set up the committee to come up with ideas and uses and purpose and all that for the town forest. And this is opening another chapter to that, basically, by saying, once it's established, will they be managing the forest? And I think there's a limit, number of members in there also.
If they're a town forestry committee, 3 to 5. Minimum of 3, maximum of 5.
We have a member in the audience.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, we
you
got-
ask him for any?
Les, you got any input, or what your thoughts are, or, I know you're part of the committee, so I just wanna,
Say that again?
so what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I think what we should, originally we set the town forest committee up, we set up basically just, okay, how are we gonna use this, how are we gonna manage it, or what's it gonna be used for? And now we've stepped into another stage of, are they gonna be managing the forest? Or are they just going to go?
Well, I think that's up to the board. The board's still in the planning stages. We're working with the Conservation Commission, Moose Mountain,
Right,
and the state of New Hampshire. And we have to go forward with all of the ideas of any restrictions that we want to put on it. And then they're going to come back to us and say, yes, we will, or no, we won't. But it's still in the planning stages right now.
yeah, well, I guess, yeah,
So they do all the footwork, it still has to come back to the BOS anyway.
yeah, it's gonna come back to VS to decide whether it's gonna be a town forest management, I'm just gonna throw the term management in there, I'm not sure that's what they
No.
call it. Management committee, no, it's after it's established, are you gonna manage it?
My personal opinion is that the board is not leaning towards the town managing it, but that's just my personal opinion. I cannot speak for the board,
Maybe what we
Not the
should do
town
is,
managing it,
huh?
not the town
and
managing it.
not
No,
the
the
town.
committee.
Committee managing it.
Committee, yeah, the committee manager.
Not the town managing it, the
Right.
committee managing it.
Maybe what we should do is have a joint meeting with the town forestry committee and, you know, if that's something we could work out, just have them in here for one meeting, maybe next
Yeah.
meeting, and we can kick this idea back and forth. Because, I mean, that's something that when we first set it up, that I don't think any one of us thought about, you know, when it gets established,
Right.
are they gonna be managing, are they gonna be, saying, cut this tree, don't cut that tree, and things like that. I'm not saying they're gonna cut trees, but just, you know, so. All right.
In terms of
Can you
the.
state your name?
Larry Brown. In terms of the authority of the committee, as it is appointed by the selectmen, the committee serves at the pleasure of the selectmen.
Correct.
And the selectmen retain executive authority to act for any interest beneficial to the health, safety, and welfare of the town as they see it. So the selectmen could recommend that the committee investigate the practices of towns with similar forests, as for example, New Durham, Middleton, and the other one that I forget.
Stratford's got one.
Thank you, and Stratford, to see what issues have come up, what income has been derived, and what complaints may have come out of that process, if any.
It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. Thank you.
Tom,
Yes.
town-owned property, my name is John Catwick, if you don't know me. It's town-owned property, correct?
Correct.
The residents of town might have a say in this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
In fact, it's an open meeting, so that anybody from the town can come into that meeting
Yeah.
as well.
Exactly.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's, we, the board, I say we, the board, previously established the town forest. Then we had to appoint a committee to look into uses for it, and that's what was done. And now we're looking at, all right, the committee to establish, look into uses for it. Are they gonna be a management type committee, or are they just gonna be, you know, come up with a list of uses and say, okay, here you go? So that's where we are right now. So that's why I think if we could set up a meeting between the town forest committee and the board of selectmen and just see what their intent is and go from there, and also explore Larry's suggestions.
May I offer another comment?
Sure.
If you go down Larry Brown, if you go down Route 126, Parker Mountain Road, about 4 miles west of Roller Coaster Road, there is an entry to the town forest there, which is marked very nicely for multiple uses and recreation.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Stratford, that one. I think that's Stratford, yeah. So, all right, well, we got 6:30, we have a public hearing, it's actually 2 public hearings scheduled at 6:30, so I'm gonna jump back into those now. And where we have 2 scheduled for 6:30, I'm gonna open the first one, recess it, then we'll open the second one, and then we'll go back to the first one, so.
Can you do the recessed one for the New Hampshire Solar Garden, because Andrew
Andrew's not
Keller
here.
isn't here yet.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, do that one first. All right, this is the public hearing for the New Hampshire Solar Garden. So I'm just gonna read them. In accordance to RSA 7274, the Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing on Monday, September 21, 2015, at 6:30 PM. The purpose of the public hearing is to receive public input on the two proposed payment in lieu of taxes agreement contracts with Hampshire Solar Garden. The contracts will allow the town to receive payments in lieu of taxes on the solar structures. The properties are located at 803 White Mountain Highway and 89 McKegney Road. Copies of the contracts are available for viewing at Town Hall. Okay, I'm going to recess that public hearing, and now I'm going to move on to the next one. The Milton Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing in accordance with RSA 4114A. The purpose of the public hearing is to receive public input on a proposed sale of a town-owned parcel of land located half on map 14 and half on map 18. The unbuildable parcel is unnumbered parcel, triangular in shape, landlocked, sandwiched between the Spalding Turnpike, map 14 lot 29, and map 18 lot 14. More information such as a tax map is available in the Assessing Department and the Town Administrator's Office. The public hearing will be held on September 21, 2015 at 6:30 PM in the Selectmen's Meeting Room at Town Hall, 424 White Mountain Highway. With that being said, the public hearing is now open. So any input from the public? Do I hear crickets? Okay. Not hearing any input from the public, gonna close the public hearing. And we have to have one more of these before we can move on it.
It's scheduled for the next meeting.
Okay, so we will stay tuned for part 2 in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Ari.
That was exciting.
Yep, thank you, Ari. Okay, we are still recessed on the second public hearing. I closed the first public hearing, and we will have that scheduled for the second half in 2 weeks, next meeting. So we're gonna move back on to administrative comments.
Okay, so I will see if I can get the town forest committee into the next selectmen's meeting
Okay.
to discuss
Yep.
this. The next item I have is I need a vote from you all to, add 1.7% COLA to the elected officials' stipends and
Mhm.
things of that nature.
No?
I'm fine with saying no.
Okay. The answer is no.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's all I have for TA comments.
Okay. Selectmen comments.
Really, I mean, the only thing I had, I knew Fred was coming in tonight, and I talked to Karen, and she just wanted me to pass it along, Fred, to thank you for all the hard work you've done at that field down at the town beach. Since you started it until now, I mean, it's just it's beautiful, and we truly want to, thank you for everything you've done down there. It means so much to the town, and it's a huge asset, and all your people that have helped you, Pat, John, just that whole project down there is it's remarkable, and just driving by it, I mean, it just states that, we do want to work together here to make the town of Milton a better place for our kids to grow up, and it's, I'm just lost with words to just to thank you. We
Just
appreciate
want
it.
everybody to know that's a joint effort down there. It wasn't just myself, my sons and my company. Pat, the town, folks who put a lot of effort into it too. It's refreshing to see the kids
Very much so.
have something
Yeah.
super nice like that.
Yeah, very much so.
And I know I pray they take care of it, and I think they will.
Mhm.
And,
And it is nice going by and seeing kids play basketball and sliding down the slides, and so it's a huge asset.
Yep, that was a
So.
community effort at its best, it
Yeah.
really was. Yes, John?
Thank you, Andy, for your comment.
You're welcome, John. Thanks again.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Mike?
So, have you contacted the Boy Scouts yet about possibly running
No, I sent out an email today. I'm having no luck getting contact information for Mr. Steer. I don't know him, so
Right.
does he live in town or?
Yeah, Middleton, yeah, Milton Mills.
Okay, well, I'll do a telephone book search, I guess.
I'm not sure that, Mr. Steer.
Say your name, please.
I'm Betsy Baker. I'm not sure that, Mr. Steer is a scoutmaster this year.
Oh,
I've got something coming up in, public comments about, Eagle Scouts, but,
Okay,
You can contact Mr. Belanger. Roger?
yeah,
Roger, but is he from Milton?
Roger Libby,
Yeah,
Roger
yeah,
Libby.
Libby, I'm sorry,
Roger
yeah.
Libby. Okay,
And,
Alright.
yeah,
Yeah, he would know.
he's
who-
Joey,
Okay.
his son, in fact, his
He's
son.
an Eagle Scout, yeah.
Yeah.
both of his sons, actually.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay.
So I think the rest of the stuff I have is for non-public.
Okay. Is Andy coming tonight, Andrew?
He is. I told him it would be closer to 7. I thought that the meeting would
Oh.
be, usually does go on for just
Yeah,
another hour and a
so
half.
it's your fault then.
Take a break.
So,
All right, I got a few things, I'll talk slow. First off, my planning board report. The board approved a lot line adjustment for the Hayes lot line on map 28 lot. This is the last planning board, I told you I'd update you this one, I missed last month. Map 28 lots 34 and 35. Mr. Strong came in to try to get his gravel pit renewal. It was denied due to too long of a time lapse from when it expired. And the state DOT, DES said that he'd have to go through the whole process again just to get it renewed. Bob Frizzell, site plan approval for my 45 lot 76 was extended again with the instruction that this was to be the last extension. If any further extension you require, you'd have to start the process all over again. Fire chief came in, presented the fire station plans to the planning board. Last meeting, Eric Knapp, came in, presented the Middleton Community Survey findings. It was, I'm going to say, very successful. I think we had 344 hits on it, or surveys taken rather. So I'm going to say that was very successful. There are copies, I'm going to copy for you for your file, and if anybody wants to read it, there's copies available to read and find out what, where the citizens want to go with it. And I think just to sum it up in a nutshell, it's looking more like low impact, small business type things that they want in town here. So that's what that is. Also, we had the groundwater ordinance from Stratford County Regional come back in again. He's going to give us an update on it. Unfortunately, we had a planning board member who was out, who had a bunch of questions he wanted to ask, so he's going to reschedule, come back. Okay. Also, next one, Les had offered to help us with our sites and postings and things like that. I believe we are all set at this time, and we have a new person that's doing it. She's doing a great job, and we're going to try to get things caught up. And I very much appreciate your help, Les, and your offer to help, and your offer on the recording equipment. Right now, that's where we need somebody more. Mr. McDougall is doing it, but he's kind of running 7 directions at once, but it seems like. So I want to thank you, Tom, for doing that for us. Solar Garden, just to give you an update on that, I did receive a letter from the Department of Environmental Services saying that permits have been approved. So now it's just a matter of getting things in place. I can read you the letter. I mean, there's a long form here. I'm not reading the form. It says, "Dear Mr. Gray, the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services Waste Management Division has completed its review of the above cited application to modify permit number DES SWTP 94051 to approve post-closure use of the closed and capped Milton unlined landfill for installation and operation of a solar array. The requested approval is herewith granted per the enclosed record of permit modification issued pursuant to RSA 149M9 and Part ENV SW 315 of the Milton, New Hampshire Solid Waste Rules. Please review the approval to assume compliance with the terms and conditions. Please also attach a copy of the facilities permit for reference. And then if you have any questions, it gives you a phone number to call Paul Gildersleeve. So that's something we've all been waiting for quite a time. It's finally come to fruition. So I'm going to give this to town administration. You can put it in the folder. And the last I had, and this is for Public Works, it's with the loader. I just want to kind of give everybody an update on where we are with the loader. The loader is, as we all know, in the shop for repair, transmission repair. Did they ever find a cooler, Pat?
They have one on order.
They have one on order.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was getting at is having transmission, if they didn't have a new cooler, the company was not going to warranty the transmission. So it has to have a new cooler, and that's all part of the quote that we got. But if they had to use the old cooler, then that would void the warranty. So we had to get that. I had asked Pat to give me a synopsis of what we got invested in that thing so far. And also to let you know that the machine's got some age on it. The possibility of it losing an engine, not saying it's gonna happen, but it's a possibility it could happen. So we all just need to be aware of it. Because to date, yeah, I'll give you guys a copy of that too here. To date, we have $45,410.26. I asked them to pull everything out of their program to kind of give us an idea of what we got invested in. That includes the transmission repair. If, God forbid, we lose the engine, we're probably looking at another $25,000 to $30,000 for that. And so I said, okay, if that happens, what are we going to do as far as snow removal, sand, stuff like that. So I asked them also to give us a rate on renting a piece of equipment while that's down, if it goes down. Please keep in mind, this is nothing we're anticipating, but we just need to be aware of it. Caterpillar has a rental fee of $4,900 per month based on the 40-hour work week. And of course, anything above 40 hours, they charge hourly. Delivery, round trip, one-way transportation, $700. Nortrax has a rental fee of $49.50 per month. That's with a 2.7 yard bucket, or a 3 yard bucket, $5,250 per month. So, and as you can see, hopefully we don't need any of the information, but if something happens, it could cost us some money. So,
Pat, how many hours on that?
this
Roughly 8,600.
like
600?
What's that?
those are the rental rates I asked them to get for me also. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention that the possibility is there. Yes, Les?
Out of that 4,500, how much of that is just routine maintenance that you would have anyway? Ballpark. That's not all just major repairs, right? Some of it's routine.
Oh, yeah, no,
maintenance.
that's everything, routine maintenance,
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
that may sound like high to somebody, but part of that is routine maintenance, which you have to have on all your equipment. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right.
I'm looking at, I'm just, quick numbers, I'm just going down through what I call as routine.
It's got tires,
Yeah.
it's got pistons, it's got pins, it's got bucket repair.
Routine maintenance, I'm gonna say you're probably right around $1,000.
Well, that's all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tires are 11,000.
Yeah, tires are expensive.
Tires are expensive.
$11,000.
When
Right.
do they recommend you to do a motor job, or
They told us between the 85 and 10,000 an hour. That's why I brought it up at a meeting, at several meetings ago, because we're in that window now, and I just don't wanna see something happen in the middle of the winter when that thing's going 7 days a week around the clock.
Right.
Because you're gonna, you know, if you don't have the loader, you're not gonna sand. If you don't have the loader, you're not gonna clear sidewalks. If you don't have the loader, we're not moving. And we did have to rent one, was it last year, Tom?
Last year,
We
year
paid-
before, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, we paid $1,200 a week
Yeah.
for that thing for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, when the loader went down last time.
And one thing we have to remember about that loader, that's an important piece of equipment, because if it's in Milton Mills moving snow,
It's the equipment.
yeah, it's the equipment in Milton Mills moving snow. Now, if we get a truck back here that needs to load sand on it, they have to drive that thing all the way from Milton Mills back here to load sand and bring it back to Milton Mills, so it's getting a lot of use, so. And do you know, Pat, on these rates, these rental rates, I think I'd asked to get us a rate of what the rental was now and what it would be in the middle of winter, so I think it'd be a
He
different
just-
rate.
Both of those quotes are 40-hour a week.
Doesn't matter what time of year.
Anything above 40 hours, we're gonna start paying by the hour.
Yep.
And because I told him those wouldn't work for me. Those numbers wouldn't work for me, because in the wintertime, we're gonna average 60 hours a week on that loader. Easy,
Right.
60
Right.
hours a week. So I'm gonna pay $5,000 for 40, and then I'm gonna pay what? Another $35, $40, $50 an hour for that loader
Yep,
per hour after that. So you're looking at, you know, probably closer to $7,000 a month or
so
more
it's,
by the time you're done, maybe closer to 10.
so it's something we really need to keep an eye on. Hopefully, nothing of this will ever happen, but I mean, I think it's something we really need to all be aware of. John?
I guess you're right, Tom, we need to keep an eye on it, but it sounds like at this stage of around $25,000 to do a transmission job behind that, there's a possibility of whatever. But I think it's probably time to start thinking about making some decisions before a vote time, whether it's rent, lease, or buy.
Right, right.
I recommend strongly we focus on that.
Yep. You know, I mean, that's something you can think about. We can certainly, you know, start crunching some numbers.
Well,
see
I
what's-
can only say from my experiences, in the last week, the experiences without a loader, you know, I'm helping out all I can with the town of Milton. My loader's doing what they can to help the town of Milton right now. And it seems like that we need to think more about making a decision more than anything.
Right. Yep. And like I was gonna say, I mean, I think if it came to the point that we're gonna look at getting something newer or whatever, that we don't get rid of this one, we just kinda keep this one here in the yard. Cause I mean, it's at the point now, we just can't afford to keep running from Milton Mills back to the town and, you know,
Keep it like a yard loader,
yeah, yard load it. I mean, it's used at the transfer station for compacting.
and we don't have to worry about having to come all the way back from Milton
Exactly.
Mills.
Tom, I'd like to just add one more thing to it, and I have to say publicly that my name is John Calfee. I'd like to say that, you know, if we look back and look at the history of what we've done to ourselves on capital reserve funds, I mean, I can look back and see capital reserve funds up $25,000, $30,000 every year for things like this we're talking about.
Yep.
And we all try our hardest to cut our budgets for the town of Milton, which we're all for, and we've basically hurt ourselves by doing that. Now we're down $15,000 on all these items we're talking about, and we should be back where we used to be 10 years ago.
There's no doubt that we, at some point, it's all gonna catch up to us, and I think
That's right.
we're getting to that
And it
point.
is. We're
It's
there
getting
now.
very close there. I mean, I think the CIP is gonna help a lot on alleviate a lot of things like that, but,
It's
you
gonna
know,
take time.
something like this was kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
So, Larry, you had a, end up?
Larry Brown. Back when the world was young, you could put a complete engine and transmission in a Renault with 4 bolts and a rubber bushing in an hour and a half, and boom, boom, that easy. Is it possible to buy ahead a replacement engine and send this one out for core value at a time convenient to the town?
That's what we're looking, that's what we're talking about.
Engine, not
Yes.
transmission.
Yeah,
Engine.
I know. Transmission's in the process now, that's gone.
Mhm.
We talked about, I asked Wade to look into what the cost of an engine reshore block would be,
Mhm.
and that's what he's estimating 25 to 30,000. Of course, I know I can give you a hard number until you actually need it. Pat?
We did get a quote on an engine, it was $20,000.
Twenty-
And that was just to buy the engine, and then you have to put it in, you're looking at another 15 to put it in.
Yeah.
So you're looking at $35,000 for an engine.
Okay. So that's new
And it's
information.
not something that we can do there,
No,
because the newer equipment all has to be synchronized with the Caterpillar equipment, which they don't let anybody have. You have to send it to them, or they have to come to it, and they have to plug into it, and they have to synchronize everything so the thing will run. If you don't do it, it don't run.
yeah, the old days of 4 bolts and a rubber bushing, they're gone.
I was good.
Yes, George?
George and I, what is the cost of a new loader, Pat?
I had got some quotes on, not brand new, but some 2012 type loaders that have about 600 hours on them, and they're going for about 122.
So it's about the cost of a truck.
Roughly, yeah.
Well, yeah, not quite, but
That's with no extended warranty.
that's with a warranty.
Okay.
They were gonna sell us the 12,000, the 2012 as a brand new machine with all the warranties, with the 600, because it had never been sold. It was something that they had in their yard that didn't sell, and they sent it out a couple of times for rental.
So we're putting 25,000 in now, and a potential of 35 more.
Probably within a year or two.
We're up to 60, so we're up to half the cost of,
Well, we got 45,000 into it now.
yeah.
That includes that 25 for the transmission. So if we put another 35, you're 80?
Yeah, you're at si-
80,
80.
It's
Now you're
decision making
2/3
time.
of the way there.
yeah. So,
What is it worth as a trade-in? To say if we went that route?
They were gonna give us 26,000 for the loader, but we had to fix the transmission first, and I said, absolutely not, there's no trade-in.
Yeah.
So they're gonna give you 1,000.
Because they're only gonna give me the money back that I put into the transmission, so it's zero.
Zero.
yeah,
So it might as well sit in that yard, it's zero.
Yep.
I wouldn't do it,
Exactly.
I wouldn't trade it.
I think it's an excellent idea just to keep it as a yard loader.
All right,
That's it.
let's leave.
yeah, that's,
Well, it
All,
is.
most towns have two. They have an old one and a newer one. The newer one goes out and does the work on the roads, and the old one stays at the barn to load sand trucks and to do the transfer station stuff and whatever needs to be done. We've not had that luxury.
I mean, that also, I mean, push come to shove, if you get a bad snowstorm in Milton Mills with, say, the new one, and you would need to do something here in Milton, it's not that far, you could actually do it here in Milton without driving too far with it. So, yes, George?
George and applicant, how long would you extend the life of a new one utilizing the old one here?
Off the top of my head, I don't know right off the top of my head, because I don't know how many hours. I mean, if this piece of equipment that we have right now is used 7 days a week. It's used the days in the highway, every single day in the highway, and on the weekends, it's used at the transfer station. In the wintertime, again, the hours double or triple in the wintertime.
Yeah, but we would cut out a lot of that.
So we'd cut out a lot of the, we'd cut out probably 20, 30 hours a week, maybe, so we cut it down.
I don't know, we have to think about that, how we can do it.
That's a lot over the course of the year.
We have to think about it, if you get someone inside somewhere, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
But, like I said, the purpose of this tonight was to bring it to everybody's attention. And I kind of agree with John, not kind of, I do agree with John, we need to do some hard looking at this thing now. Because we don't want to get caught short, I mean, it's not, if this goes down in the middle of winter, it's not gonna take long to chew up that cost of the new one, with that one he's
I'm
talking.
sure the public wants service, so, I mean,
Yep.
we gotta make some decisions.
Yep.
Let them
Absolutely.
decide.
Yep, absolutely, so. All right, I got one more, and this was a letter from the Rochester Police Department to our Chief Kraus. I'm gonna ask, Mike, do you wanna read this? Because you'll be in the liaison for the police department.
Like Tom mentioned, this is a letter from the Rochester Police Department to Chief Kraus. I'm writing to thank you for your time and willingness to assist the Rochester Police Department in a recent presentation to the Finance Committee of the Rochester City Council. The presentation to the council committee centered on getting their buy-in for the purchase of an SUVs for our cruiser fleet placement plan after identifying maintenance, repair, and cabin size issues with the Dodge Chargers that we currently own. The ability to talk about and then show the committee the Ford Interceptor cruiser set up and used by the town of Milton was very beneficial to the decision and ultimately their support. Your time and willingness to help is deeply appreciated, not only by me, by the police commission, but also by the officers. Cooperation and partnership among law enforcement agency is a cornerstone of our success. If the need should arise, we can return the favor. Please just let us know. Sincerely, Michael J. Allen, Chief of Police.
So, I'd like to congratulate our police chief for stepping up again and helping other communities. It's just another example of what Milton does outside the community as well, so I'll leave you that for the file. Did you want to call him? Andrew, can you take 5 minutes? All right. You have his phone number? You want to, I'll write it down here.
I'll go into my office.
Okay. I'm gonna take a 5-minute recess. I'm gonna ask our town administrator to call, do you have his number in there, Liz, or?
Yeah.
Okay. To call, the guy from Solar Garden, so we're gonna be on a recess for 5 minutes. A recess from our recess. going to come out of our recess, you all set? All set, good. And I am going to go back to the public hearing, reconvene the first one. I want to make a statement first that Andrew Keller from New Hampshire Solar Gardens will not be here. He had a family emergency, so he's not going to be able to make it. He's tied up right now. So, again, I'm just going to read the public hearing notice. It's in accordance with RSA 7274. The Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing on Monday, September 21, 2015 at 6:30. The purpose of the public hearing is to receive public input on two proposed payment in lieu of taxes agreements, contracts with Solar Garden. The contracts will allow the town to receive payments in lieu of taxes on the solar structures. The properties are located at 803 White Mountain Highway and 89 McKegney Road. Copies of the contracts are available for viewing at the town hall. With that being said, I'm going to open up the public hearing. For any public comments, questions, or? Wes?
What is the assessment for the property and what are the taxes? Because basically you're asking, he's gonna waive the taxes and make a payment.
Make a payment. Yeah, I can
What's
tell you
the
what the payment
difference?
is. I don't have the assessed value of those or what the taxes are. The taxes on the capped landfill, I tell you, are first for nothing. The payment that we would be receiving for that is $3,475 per year to have that on there. So that's on the,
Structure itself.
yeah, the structure itself on top of the landfill.
Question.
Yes.
What do we get for taxes on it today?
Nothing.
Zero. Thank you. It's a no-brainer.
Stop beating around the bush, John.
Yeah, really. Get to the point. The payment for the 89 McKegney Road is $3,500. So, any other, I don't have the assessed value of 89 McKegney Road, sorry about that. Yes,
Tom, Larry Brown, could you speak a little bit to the McKegney Road project?
could I speak to a little bit about, what do you want to know? I can just tell you what I have here in front of me, because that is a private project.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Oh.
I believe it's,
It is.
You have a background
Yeah.
here too.
yeah, let me, if you want, I can read you this. This payment is in lieu of taxes. This is for the Kegney Road. Background. MRS seeks to develop a renewable solar power electric generating facility to be located at 89 McKegney Road, Milton, New Hampshire. MRS expects a final installed nameplate capacity to be approximately 1,069 megawatts. For the purpose of this agreement, the term nameplate capacity shall mean the sum of all the nameplate capacities and total solar inverters installed and operating at the facility. Once the project has reached commercial operation defined below, the parties will sign a letter of amended to this agreement specifying the actual nameplate capacity of the facility. And actually, these both are agreements with the Town of Milton and New Hampshire Solar Gardens. Yeah, they're both with the Town of Milton. On the back page says where you gotta sign the contract is Town of Milton signature and New Hampshire Solar Gardens with Andrew Keller. So it's payment in lieu of taxes. So
Is 89 McKegney east or west of the Spalding?
your compass is better than mine.
That,
I really don't know.
thank you.
Yeah.
East of it.
Is that 89? I don't know where 89 is. Yes, George.
So we're gonna get in excess of $7,000 in payments.
That's what it looks like. Just under 7.
At today's tax rate, how many thousands of dollars of valuation would that be? I would think we'd be up there $250,000 or more.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get basically tax money for
Yes.
$250,000 for two pieces of property that are giving us nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. Yes. Tom.
I'm McDougal. Is there any provisions in the payment in lieu of taxes for it to periodically adjust. I'm thinking they're making electric, cost of electric's only gonna go up.
No,
Yeah,
I
We haven't
think
got the final contract anyway, have we?
we do not have the final contract yet, but I do not believe there's any provision.
This is just an
Set
outline of
Yeah.
of the project.
With the payment, what it's gonna be, so I think this is what the payment is going to be.
Tom,
Yes, John?
I'd like to thank you for bringing this solar garden business in the town of Milton to relieve tax revenue.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that. So. Any other public comments?
I got one.
Oh, yes, John.
My name is John Kellick. I got a public comment.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm talking about for the solar garden.
Oh, I'm
Right now, we're still in
I
that
was
one.
ready for the next question.
Yeah. Let me wait till we close the public comments on this one, on solar garden. Larry, you had your hand up.
But not on this one.
Okay. Anything else from the public on New Hampshire solar gardens? Okay, not hearing any. I am going to close the public hearing. Now, do we have to sign these tonight, or we don't have an actual contract yet?
We don't. You could make a motion to move forward, to approve it,
Yep.
and then once the
Enter
contract.
to the proposed, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
not the contract, enter into the
Yep.
proposed
yeah,
payment.
pilot agreements, the two, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm ready for you.
all set, Andy? Okay. Move that we enter into the two proposed payment in lieu of taxes agreement contracts with Milton Town Solar LLC, McKegney Road Solar LLC in accordance with RSA 72:74. Said properties at 803 White Mountain Highway and 89 McKegney Road. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So good. Okay. Now we can move into public comments, John. Oh,
Oh, my hand was up first, John.
Go for it.
wow, you snooze, you lose on this one. I can see that, wow.
I would just like to bring to the board's attention that last Friday I had some road construction work going on, and I didn't have a loader. And the loader that I had lined up didn't show up. Within 5 minutes, I had called John Catwick. We had his loader down there at the highway barn, loading trucks for 5 hours for me.
Thank you, John Catwick, thank you very
John.
much.
I just want to publicly thank John Catwick for stepping up and helping me out last Friday.
Thank you, John, very
That's
much.
teamwork.
Yep, it is.
I'm done.
You
Go
done?
ahead, John.
John?
My name is John Cowick. I'd like to do a public comment, and my public comment is the Milton Townhouse is going to have a bake sale October 10th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Milton Townhouse. Benefits will be for the Milton Townhouse restoration. We're going to do it inside. The reason why we had a recommendation by a lady that attended the last meeting from England, and she was impressed with, she loves historical things and impressed with what we've done. And she made a recommendation that let the people come in and do the bake sale inside so they can see it. And it was like, almost like she must know what's going on in Milton. She doesn't, but she must have just, I don't know, had a dream or something, because I've been notified by several people in this town that do Facebook that I don't do. And there's two families in here tonight that I want to specifically, personally address one-on-one with them. And it's the Brown family and Mr. Wayne's family, that we are open to be there to answer any questions you have, so you don't have to keep playing around with the so-called Facebook and embarrassing me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Any other public comments? Yes, Betsy?
I just wanted to let you know that last
State your
Friday.
name, state
Oh, I'm
your-
sorry, I'm Betsy Baker, I'm the director of the Milton Free Public Library. And I was approached on Friday from a potential Eagle Scout who wants to refinish the floors in the upstairs portion of the library. And what he is envisioning is doing all the fundraising and getting a work crew together, and apparently now I may have a supervisor for that. And I know I'm doing this backwards, that I should be talking to the trustees first, but I wanted to let you all know that this was in the works, and pending approval of the trustees, hopefully that you all would agree to such a thing.
Are they gonna be using equipment as far as electrical equipment, sanders,
It
saws,
would be Sanders and,
saws and things like that? 'Cause I'm just thinking about liability.
I've got some forms.
Yeah, I mean waiver forms, so yeah. They would-
Alright.
they have to fill out waiver forms and, because I was thinking of liability if they get in there or something, so. Just to protect yourself and us in the town and everybody.
all right.
Okay, so yeah, no, but, you know, definitely thank him for the offer and, you know, keep us informed of where it goes.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yes, Les?
Les Elder. You should have a copy of the L-CHIP 5-year stewardship agreement. This is a draft copy that was submitted to us by the L-CHIP. We'd like for you to review it and make any changes or accept it, and then we will get a final from L-CHIP. But this is a process, they want your approval on it before, that way they don't have to make any changes.
Okay.
And it's just a standard boilerplate.
All right, I remember seeing it. Anyone else? Yes, Dennis?
Dennis Lang. I just wonder if I get a point of clarification on the presentation, your donation on the, your contribution on the proposed Milton Mills Cemetery soccer field and the school project. You mentioned sprinkler, irrigation and wells and pumps and so forth. Is that stuff that's already been figured into the budget, or is this new stuff that's been?
It's stuff they're gonna get pricing on first.
So there's nothing solid in anywhere, it's just, it's the stuff that you're working on that hasn't come, okay.
John?
Yeah, this, to answer your question, Mr. Wing, it's a beginning of a project.
Okay.
It's a kickoff. There is no plan to start this kickoff until spring.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks. Thanks, John. Thanks, Dennis. Anyone else? Yes, Tom?
Tom McDougal again. If the selectmen were recording the meetings, we're putting them up on YouTube, record some of the meetings anyway. It might be nice if we could record these to DVD and have them available in the free public library. For those that may not have internet access or what have you, I know we can lend out DVDs there. So maybe thinking about for next year in the budget, Ed, and $5 DVDs are somewhere between 25 and 50 cents a piece.
Okay. Do we have a burner? Can we burn them on this? or-
We gotta figure out what we gotta have. This does not
Okay.
have a writer,
Okay.
CD writer, but like $50 you get a USB writer. I'm assuming it'll work with this computer, but
Yeah.
you know, just something to
Think
think about
about, yeah.
for the future. And if we save it like that, we've got a copy of it that we're not
Just-
depending on somebody else to deal with.
For the archives.
Yeah, and who knows what YouTube's gonna do next year, or, Google might decide they're gonna start charging us for it. Don't know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, good. Yes, Betsy?
I'll just let Betsy Baker, Milton Free Public Library. The library does have 4 public computers that people can access and get on YouTube, just so you know.
Okay, thank you. But he's saying, 2 reasons. One, to have one in the library, because people don't want to get it. And another for
No
archives.
problem
Yeah.
with that. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm just saying with.
All right. Awesome, great. Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Brown?
Yes, Larry Brown. 3 things, I think. First, on the planning board meeting, it should be pointed out that a regular extension of the site plan is for 2 years. After that, a 1-year extension is given. And it was pointed out quite strongly that the extended extensions given for that one parcel actually ruined the planning board's ability to have its site review mean anything with an expiration date. It was pointed out that nothing in the expiration of the site plan prevented a new person from building the same gas station with better concern for landscaping. And nothing has been done yet by the planning board for the tension between an Exit 17 gas station of pit stop gas and go, which does nothing to bring traffic into the town. That's one. Secondly, forget second. Thirdly, which is now secondly, innuendo is one thing. Public innuendo is another thing. For 20 years, I have been particularly attentive to the historical and residential character of Plummer's Ridge and have spent several $1,000s of my own money in lawsuits to protect it. The T-shirt for the townhouse was designed by Suzanne, who served, as memory serves, as president, and whose comments in public and private and in any media have been nothing but supportive of the goals, interests, and value of the townhouse.
Thank you.
Que pasa?
Thank you. Anyone else? Public comments? Okay, not hearing on closed public comments. And I believe you said you had something non-public?
Yep.
Okay, so,
How long is it going to be? Because there are two people here to train on the computer. possible with the-
Dave's office, so you guys can get trained on this. So, just trying to accommodate everybody.
That's fine. Thank you.
Gray eye.
Blue eye.